afternoon, everyone. Before I tell you what I do or how I help, I'd like a show of hands. Has anyone here had a parking ticket before? Yeah? Has anyone here argued with an organisation who felt that they did you wrong? How did you get on with that? Did anyone claim? Did anyone win? Well done, that lady. One person out of the audience, maybe a couple of others. This is what we're here to solve, because you've got the evidence, but fighting for your rights is too complicated. We try and help you organize your evidence. We help you challenge it, because having the answers isn't enough. You've got to be organized, and this is what we're about. Proving your case isn't easy. That's what we do. That's what we're solving. HowVeryDare, because we believe evidence beats accusations. You see, you have the evidence with you on your phone, in emails, on WhatsApps. You might have had the parking ticket, the charge for doing a U-turn up the road, because I got one. The other day I was driving up past Texaco, and then I wanted to go back to Tenton Central, and 5 days later, TfL sent me a parking charge notice, penalty charge notice. Well, I challenged it. 5 days later, they did their own U-turn, and they cancelled that ticket. And I realised that this system was needed by everyone to fight for what's right, because people find it difficult, too difficult. So we help you go from chaos to clarity. We allow to upload the documents, the emails, the WhatsApps, the photos, the bills you have on your phone, the insurance claim. You upload that into the HowVeryDare brain. And that system helps organize your evidence, and it structures it. And it works out who did what. It builds a timeline. It identifies the contradictions when they said you didn't do what you did, or the other way around. And it links every conclusion to the evidence, not just some assertion. And then it produces professional, evidence-backed submissions, whether that's an appeal, an insurance claim, a complaint, an ombudsman complaint, or a particulars of claim for a small claims court. Every conclusion is traceable. Every source is verifiable. Evidence you can trust. Decisions that you can defend against. HowVeryDare. This has been validated on dozens of cases so far. Not just my own, friends, family, parking appeals, people in here today. How are you getting on with that? We'll hear about that one later. You heard about my own U-turn. They did their U-turn. We've done insurance claims. I'm driving a car at the moment. Someone went into me the other day. The insurance company had never seen anything quite like it when they saw my claim file, I promise you. A breach of contract. Small claims deal with thousands of cases, tens of thousands of cases, and the courts are backed up at the moment. Employment advice, education support, roof repairs, cowboy builders, consumer complaints, small claims, all handled by the same engine, HowVeryDare. Different disputes, the same evidence challenge, the same problem, the same engine. So our business model is multiple revenue streams, scalable through consumers, B2C. They might pay per report. They might pay a premium subscription from £14.95 to £129, depending on the size of their claim. And then there's the B2B. There's the professionals, the lawyers, the insurance, the accountants. And they might pay £119 a user a month. And then we have the enterprises that will be using it for evidentiary purposes. Banks, insurance companies, regulated sectors. Custom pricing, but you know, the list goes on. This is a high margin SaaS solution with recurring revenue, not just built for the UK, built to go worldwide. So we're going to start where the pain is highest. We're going to expand with the proof. There are millions of disputes raised every year across parking, insurance, financial services, and consumer complaints. The consumer disputes, the HowVeryDare ignites the market, captures the emotion. But those cases will be fed, when they get bigger, to legal experts. Because they don't want to get your shoebox full of receipts. If you can bring them organized evidence, it's going to save everyone money and time. You get perfect advice that way. The insurance claims get handled properly. No one has to waste time. The financial services will avoid all kinds of problems. We'll avoid all kinds of problems because we won't have to worry about fighting for injustices. We're going to democratize justice finally with this service. So this is one platform, many sectors, global potential. The platform's already built. We've got proof of concept. We've solved real disputes. We've got many in waiting. Many are in the system. The courts are taking months at the moment. You can't argue with an idiot, right? But we've got the subscriptions defined. We've got the momentum today. And this is just the start. So today I'm here to tell you that we're raising £110,000 in the first stage. This will help us get through consumer launch, harden our product, organize our first consumer partnerships, and give us a runway for 12 to 18 months. We'll use that across development, sales, and give ourselves a little bit of a buffer for regulatory issues. So who am I? I'm Jamie. I've been building businesses online for 30 years, since I left here. I've built sites for KPMG. I've worked for Amazon, done stuff for the NHS. I specialize today in AI, data, and complex systems. And I know this is a problem that we all have. And I'd really like to solve this for everyone. But I can't do it by myself. So I've got partners and I've got team behind me. I've got support from salespeople. I've got people with networks in America, lawyers. I've got developers and I've got legal interns. I've got people in my family who are retired judges. They're going to help me. They might not know it yet, but they're helping me. Oh yeah. And if you want to get hold of me, better call jamie.com. It's for you, Maria. So I see a world where we're not just using AI as chatbots, but we're using it for good purpose, where we can depend on the output, where we can trust the answers we're getting. We can be accountable and we can empower the world to use tools like this. I am looking for partners, mentors, and investors to help make AI accountable for everyone. HowVeryDare. Hello.
Oh, hello, hello. We can hear each other. Okay, congratulations, Jamie. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
We're going to start with judges' questions from this side now, if they have any questions. Unless, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Jamie.
Hi.
So how do you plan on getting this out there, your marketing plan initially?
Word of mouth initially, but I've done a little bit of digital marketing over the years, SEO, and I understand a bit about that, but it's got to be a multi-pronged approach. It's going to have to be partnerships, it's going to have to be hearts and minds, and maybe a bit of advertising as well. So we're going to concentrate on London, on friends and family, on good PR. We might go to organisations like the councils because we believe we can help trading standards and help them with some of the challenges that they have, because everyone's strapped for resources at the moment, and I don't think that they're using the technology effectively. So maybe this can help lots of different people, and we'll have conversations to see how we can help and we can assist.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
How are you? Yeah, I would like to know from the funding perspective, what is your plan? It's a software as a service platform, and how do you plan to scale it? Is it going to be a global platform? And if you plan it to scale it globally, what's your funding structure like? What will be your valuation in the coming time?
Okay, so we registered as a limited company today. We're now looking at the next stage, thank you, HowVeryDare Limited. That enables us to be open for SEIS. We're going to be looking at lots of AI grants that are available. There is a big runway at the moment within government to facilitate legal AI services. There are grants available. We're going to look at every option available. And in terms of, is this international? Yes, we started looking at US law requirements, but I want to think about local first, with a firm eye in the future on global, but we've got to get it right in our market first. We understand our system, and maybe in some respects we don't. So we've got to get it right, and then when we've got it right, then we can skip across the pond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the idea is brilliant. What I'm concerned with, 10% for £100,000, that means you're valuing a startup from scratch over £1 million. Well, there's a higher requirement than the lottery will pay out. I don't think and then there are too many unknown. You need the cash, you need talent to support you, and there are too many question marks. That's what's concerning me. There are too many question marks.
So, yes, there are a lot of questions, but I think we've got a lot of answers too. This isn't my first business, my first online business, and when it comes to technology, this is something that I've been very close to for a long time. So emerging technologies are exciting. They're also very profitable. There are a lot of legal funded AI firms today that have reached unicorn status. And actually what we've asked for today and what we're valuing the business at today, I think is quite modest, quite frankly.
I think congratulations on your success, right? And that's great. So how much of your own money are you putting in?
I've put a lot of time and effort into this. I've been developing this for the last 6 months.
How much of your own pound, shilling and pence are you putting in? You're successful. You've made good money on previous job, on previous entrepreneurships, right? So how much are you putting in now?
I've gone all in on this so far. So over the years, I put blood, sweat and tears in. And when it comes to getting a business off the ground, I am quite used to doing what it takes. I have the tenacity there to do it. I'm not a stranger to rolling my sleeves up, even putting a jacket on under rolled up sleeves. But I think it's quite frank to say I don't think I can make this business work by myself, and that's why I'm here to open up the opportunity to other people to help, to look for how we can take this to market as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Jamie. Just one more question on that side. Thank you.
Hi, Jamie. I really want you to solve this problem because everyone out there, parking ticket, that's a common thing. Insurance claim, and all of that. But my question, a couple of questions I've got, but I'll ask you one. How do you go about evidence capture?
Well, the first thing is you have one of these, I guess. You have emails, you have WhatsApps, you have letters, and that's all the evidence you have. What you don't have is organization. And that's where the AI comes in, because the AI is able to take all that information in and organize it and understand who did what, when, and why.
Yeah, I'm still not very clear about that.
Okay.
Because for you to prove, you said something, evidence beats accusation. For instance, I've got a parking ticket, and I have just been emailed that, or I have a fine, the letter is in me, I have to pay. And I say, oh no, I can't remember being at this car park, or I can't, whatever it is. My evidence goes into your platform, and the AI in your platform processes whatever evidence I have submitted to you, and then what?
So this is it. We're not fighting the case for you. We're helping you organize your evidence. If you don't remember where you were, we can't help you remember that.
Okay.
We might be able to give you some pointers. You know, we might be able to have some information that says, hey, do you want to look at your phone, and maybe there was something on Google, or maybe you were out the country. Maybe you couldn't have been at the place when they said.
Okay.
But the idea of this is, and how it has worked, this is not a theory. We've used this to upload evidence, documents. The parking ticket I got, the penalty charge notice, said I was doing a U-turn on a road over there. And I said, hang on, but the road signs say no U-turn. So I went back there, I took pictures. I submitted the pictures. I used the pictures on the penalty charge notice to show they had a big white arrow on the road where I took a big right turn. So we use the evidence we have, and we argue a case against the other side who couldn't prove that the road signs weren't ambiguous. And better organized evidence wins.
All right, so your data evidence capture is heavily reliant on the offender, the supposed offender.
Every lawyer, every defense lawyer, every prosecuting lawyer depends on the same degree of evidence. I can't make up your defense. I can only take what you give me. And your lawyer will take your shoebox of receipts, and he will charge you thousands to go through them, where you could upload them on the system for pennies.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Jamie, please.